You are now listening to
The Real Tea with Dom and Z.
I'm more old school.
And I'm with the new school.
And tune in with us every Wednesday for real life,
real talk, and real situations.
Hey T babies, how you living? Did you drink your water today?
And I hope you're minding the business that pays you. Okay? Today's topic is, what is toxic? Let's get into the tea. What's up, T-Babies? I hope you guys are having a good day. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode number 4. We here, we ready, we back.
We back.
It's today, we talking about what is toxic.
What is toxic, child?
Who's toxic around here? I think we all got a little toxic in us.
Speak for yourself.
Girl, this one right here, she is toxic.
I ain't toxic.
Let me go ask my uncle. She got some of these traits. Everybody toxic, I think.
Nah, there's levels to toxicity.
Girl.
So I'm going on healthline.com and it's telling you traits of a toxic relationship. So it says lack of support, toxic communication, jealousy, controlling behaviors, resentment, dishonesty, patterns of disrespect, negative financial behaviors, constant stress, ignoring your needs, lost relationships, lack of self-care, hoping for a change, walking on eggshells.
Woo!
That ain't me, baby. Now one of them.
Nah, maybe not a relationship aspect, but in general, everybody toxic.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say everybody. I can't agree with that one, sis.
So everybody got a toxic.
I can't agree with that, sis.
At least one toxic.
That ain't now one of them me. Now one of them me.
Look, the end of now for me.
Nah, for real though. There's levels to toxicity in my eyes, and I say this every episode. I am not an expert. I am not a counselor. I don't have a degree in toxicity
at all.
This is just my opinion and how I feel. Now, I feel like it's levels to it because
it is.
You might have a little toxic in you the way, you might have a little argument every now and then. You got to pick a fight every now and then. But then you got that serious toxicness that's like
beyond
detrimental to someone's mental health.
Fighting and stuff.
Yeah, like I ain't with that. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I pick a fight every now and then just because we're going to keep it spicy. I want that makeup.
That be our problem. Y'all be trying to keep the relationship spicy.
Girl, keep it spicy because that makeup is the best.
Lord.
This my niece, but I'm always open and honest with her, baby. Open and honest.
A little too honest at times. Like, look.
She grown now, so hey. But it for real, like that's even like not to get completely off, but that goes into like cheating. Like, why is there always cheating? Why? Because you want the thrill of sneaking off.
Get up into this tea.
You want to come back. You want to come back and pick your argument. Some people get caught on purpose just so they can have an argument. And then here you go talk about it. He cheated, I'ma leave. And here you go.
No.
Thinking, here you go. Now all of a sudden the next day, that's my man, and I'ma stick beside him.
If I'ma stick beside him was a person. No, but this generation, I feel like they glorify toxic.
And like, that's a problem.
Yes. Everybody like, yeah, I'm toxic, or we love this toxic. Like, everybody making jokes of it, but it can become real serious. Like, this generation, like, what's up with everybody wanting to be toxic?
You can't even say this generation, baby. This
just
is going
now.
On for generations.
But it's not cute if we think about it. Like, it's not cute at all.
It ain't.
A lot of people unhappy and just in toxic relationships. And I think, since social media is bigger, everybody know everybody's business now. But what do you think transpires? Like, would you say um like where did the toxic come from in a relationship? Because
I
it
think
starts off in the lovey-dovey stage, y'all be
so.
good.
When we're talking about relationships, for me, I'm not talking about just a relationship with like a man or a woman. I'm talking about
Anybody.
friendships, uh, family, co-workers,
Just
any and
relationships in
everybody.
general.
Yeah. So I think it starts with your childhood or something that is hurting you, because it's deeper.
That's big.
It's deeper than just picking an argument or having a little issue with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, just say for instance, you've been cheated on before. Then your next relationship, you don't want to trust.
Or you saw
Because
your mama being cheated on, so
yeah,
that's why you accept it. It could be in that way too.
yeah. Or you don't want to trust, so you're toxic in the way that you're never trusting the other person in the relationship, and always thinking they out cheating and they ain't doing nothing. So here we go fussing and fighting all the time, and you thinking this person out doing this and doing that, and they actually being faithful.
I think social media has a big part in that too. So in the media, you kind of see, oh, this person cheating, and you thought they was the best
Oh,
couple.
you even got songs about it now.
You got
Look at your girl. She said she do it good on the weekend, baby. What's her name? Summer Walker.
SZA. She
SZA.
said, dang,
I keep them
forgot what she
satisfied on the
said.
weekend.
Oh yeah,
You the 9 to 5. I'm the weekend.
Period.
Make him lose his mind.
Bruh. Okay, but look. This is what I was trying to say. So I feel like that influences you. Like for me, I'll be like, even if somebody is toxic, I'm still gonna think. I mean, even if somebody is faithful, I'm still gonna think you doing me dirty, because I think I got trust
nothing to do
issues.
with them. It ain't got nothing to do with them.
It don't. No, I'm just saying, as you know, since we speaking on it, I feel like I've got a lot of trust issues, and it all ties back to my childhood and things I've seen as I was growing up. So, like, I be treating people like
you trying to get me.
Exactly. That's how I feel. I feel like everybody out to get me. I
ain't gonna lie, I'm the same way.
I literally feel like everybody is out to get me, and I don't know why. Well, I know why, because I done been through a lot.
Right.
But I also noticed, and for this year, I want to work on this in myself. Like, I have to learn how to come out of that. Come out of
like, let your guard down.
Yeah.
Don't let it all the way down.
Right. To an extent.
Let it all the way down.
Because I'm going to be unhappy thinking everybody cheating on me or everybody out to get me. Friendships, all of that. I'll be thinking, oh, she probably with old girl talking about me. Or I wonder if they get together and blah, blah, blah.
And we all do that.
Yeah.
But for me, that's a discernment. Like, if I feel it, it's definitely happening.
But it don't always be true.
For me, it do.
Every situation, bro.
I have a gift. No, seriously. I have a gift.
Okay, auntie.
For real. I'm dead serious. All jokes aside. I have
Raven Baxter.
I am.
Okay.
No, Raven Baxter got that from me.
Oh. You right, because she younger.
Nah, but for real, when you got that third eye and you real in tune with yourself and
you
real
can,
in tune with your surroundings, you can feel people's vibes. You can feel people's energy. You can feel.
That's how I am.
You
ain't
ain't got to be
everything.
in the same room, and it's like I could feel your energy. I could, I could just, I could tell when somebody's lying. I could tell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then not only that,
you pick up on it.
Yeah. Not only that, it's like if you really, really know somebody, and if they change, it's like, okay, something is up. It's gonna make you think like, okay, what's really going on?
Especially if you know them, like family, friends, relationships, especially relationships, because you next to them every night,
right?
So you know when something is off, even though they be like, "Nah, I'm good." You know,
and see,
like
in my eyes, that's not being toxic. However,
no,
it could bring on the toxic situation
after a while,
because I'm gonna be like, what's up? I'm gonna let you slide for a minute, but then I'm gonna be like, hey, what's going on? Because you acting wishy washy, or you being iffy, or what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna let that shit happen for too long,
Right.
So it's like, what's happening? What's popping?
Right.
Because I want to clear it out. I want. Let's put it all out on the table and get it, be done with it. But
Right.
it becomes a toxic situation because people lie.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's like you feel as though you're not finna sit here and lie to me.
Right.
So
And that's just
now we finna argue,
right.
or we finna fight, or we
Right.
finna stop talking for
And when you know somebody
so
lying,
long.
it pisses you off even more.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I know something before. 9 times out of 10, I know before I ask you, for one. And then you lie about it. Okay, now we beefing for real, and it's gonna become a toxic situation because you could have told me the truth in the beginning.
Now you got some people that's toxic and they just real deal got some mental issues that they need to go get taken care of with a
Yes.
medical
Yes.
professional.
Agreed.
Because sometimes it's not even a situation like that. It's just something that this person always have to have something going on. They like fighting. I know some people that they got to have that going on. If it's going peaceful and serene,
They
they
got
don't
to
want
start up
that.
something.
It's like I don't like that. I got to have this going on. I got to have that going on. Oh, it's boring. Like that's a different type of situation to me because I feel like why, like who don't want peace? But that's how it is. Like it ain't. I don't go. We don't go. I ain't gonna say a week. I'm gonna say maybe a month. Cause when we were younger, and me and my husband was younger, baby, we fought all the
Auntie is married.
time, all the time. But now it's like we ain't got nothing to argue about. Like
Y'all done did it all.
we didn't argue about everything. We done been together so long that we know each other. We so in tune with each other that it's like I know what he like. He know what I like. I know what I said him. He know what I said me. I think we come to like a mutual ground of understanding and respecting each other. That when it's like 9 times out of 10, if he do something that he knows gonna piss me off, he gonna give me the side eye because he wait to see my reaction. Because
So y'all just doing stuff to piss each other off on purpose because y'all know each other. Or like the back of y'all hand.
but it's like sometimes I be like, nah, you know how I am. Like right now, he know I have a phobia about being stuck somewhere. So I don't like when he blocked me in the driveway.
Oh, Uncle, you in trouble.
And he done blocked me in the driveway. And I didn't notice it till you pulled up. That he done blocked me in the driveway and the truck is on the other side. So normally when he pulls this car up, it's a space that I could get out because he know how I am. I don't care if we all at the house and I ain't going nowhere. Don't block me in.
Okay.
If I got to get up out this MF, I got to go.
Uncle, if you hear this, you better get up and go get them keys and move.
I ain't got time to wait for you to move this truck. So guess what? This is a constant argument that we always have. So are you purposely doing that? Are you purposely blocking me in?
He just forgot.
Girl, whatever.
He just forgot.
He do that purposely. He want an argument.
Bruh, don't do him. Don't do him. He want
an argument.
My uncle is hilarious, y'all. They both hilarious for one. But they married, so they know each other. So at the point that they at, they know what pisses each other off for
right.
sure.
And I feel like after you've been together, because I know people that've been together for as long as we have, and they still just fussing and fighting over the just dumbest stuff. It's like that has become the norm for them. So that's what they like. Me, I like
that's
peace.
When it's toxic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me, I like peace. I don't want to be fussing and fighting. Not every day, all day. Like my mind needs rest.
Well,
my heart needs rest. I don't need my pressure up every day.
I'm not there yet.
We know,
Auntie.
We know.
I like to start up a little ruckus every once in a while.
Not a little.
Little ruckus.
Not a little.
A little or whatever. But I'm still young and I don't want to use that as an excuse to, do dumb stuff, but I'm still learning. And I feel like it's not always so much toxic. It just becomes toxic after a while. So I do have toxic traits, I ain't gonna lie, that I need to work on. And I think,
but for you to even recognize it.
Yeah, that's step one. You got to recognize that you are not always right and they are not always wrong. You got to realize that you do have some toxic traits that you need to work on within yourself before I think you can love someone else
properly.
or properly. Right. So I want to say to everybody who is like me and still going through their little stage, and they just like
I
to get
think that's
stuff
something that you'll
popping.
never. I don't feel like that's something that you'll like get over though. If you're dealing with something that is like deep down, either that happened to you or something you've been through or something that you've seen.
I feel like I'm on defense a lot.
I think
I think
that's
a lot of people
something.
can agree to that too.
I think that's something that's gonna come with growth as you get older. But it's
Yes.
like that's gonna be something that you still gonna feel deep down inside. You just gonna be older and know how to control it.
Control it. That's what it is. You got to figure out how to control it. And as I'm getting older, I've been mature for my age because I've always been around older people. So I've always been mature, but I am not.
I don't know what older people
In
she talking about.
my cousins was always older than me.
I
Everybody
thought
was
you were
always
talking
older
about
than
me
me.
because I'm
You old
only
too,
2 years older than you.
Sis old too. But
I'm
anyways,
25.
I'm 22, so y'all do the math. Um, but yeah, I'm always on the fence. But I think, like Auntie said, it starts with you knowing. So I know I be talking to my sisters, and whew, if y'all listening, I'm sorry, but we all toxic. We know we toxic though, and we trying to work on it. That's the thing. So it starts with us knowing and us
Young,
trying to
wild,
get
and
better.
free.
Period. Us trying to get better, because for real, toxic is not the way to go. And I'm realizing that, like, I don't meanfully, what's the word? I'm not trying to be toxic. I just feel like my past and me being on a defense mode with everything and every single person, the person that I may be in a relationship with is going to be the closest to me. So that's the person who's going to get everything out of me. You're going to get the bad, the good, but mostly.
But you also gotta love harder than
And I think I do.
what the toxicness that you're putting out.
But I also think it goes back to my childhood. Mama, if you're listening to this, you know. But my mom went through some things as I was growing up in her relationships, and I was seeing that. So I feel like that's kind of what I knew for a relationship aspect as well. So I have to separate myself from my mom's life and live my own life, because what she may have went through with the man is not what I'm going to go through. But I feel like I'm already setting myself up and preparing myself for that stuff to happen. And it may never even happen to me. But I have a defense mode because it could.
That's what you've seen.
Exactly.
Yeah. But not even just that. In everyday life, you see it happening, like even with
That's
people we don't know. Look
Back
at the
to
baby
social
and
media.
daddy.
That's what I said. Yeah,
Right.
it influences it all. Everybody like, oh, he cheating because everybody cheating, right? That's the hot topic.
Everybody ain't cheating.
So everybody
y'all better stop that cheating. There's too much stuff going on out here.
But everybody thinks
y'all worried about COVID, the STDs and the AIDS.
Go get checked. Yeah,
syphilis.
Yeah, be serious about sex for real, for real.
Yeah. Please wrap it up. Put the hat on.
Wrap the cap. Wrap the cap, okay?
I thought you said wrap the cat.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I was about to say, I ain't never heard that one.
Look, hey, yo. What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now?
Wrap the cat.
Woo. Okay. But for real, y'all, since we touching on that, yes, practice safe sex, please.
Please.
But yeah, back to the topic. I think it be stuff playing in our heads that just make you feel like somebody is doing something. And also, when you got a lot of time to think, girl.
Ooh, the idle mind.
Yeah.
The idle mind.
You got time to think, you gonna think yourself into a whole nother world. Man.
But for me, if I think it.
But I don't always be right. I be wrong as hell.
I'm wrong sometimes.
Unless
but 9 times, I ain't gonna say 9. I'm gonna say 7.
You got that women's intuition, though.
Yes, baby, that women's intuition kick in, and it's like, wait a minute, you get that
too good to be true.
What's Jody and Yvette? Yes, baby. Yvette. That used to be me and your uncle.
Woo,
baby, I was Yvette. Okay.
Woo! Oh Lord. I think
Yeah.
you got to go through some stuff with your people, family,
Yeah.
anything. You
Yeah.
got to go through, and then once all that is over, it's like okay, we
Right.
good.
Right.
Like we
You
good.
passed the test.
Yeah, because as you're growing with them, like in your situation, y'all met young. Was it out of high school?
We met in high school, but we didn't start dating until after
But they knew y'all knew each
graduated.
other.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like y'all built that and y'all were growing. When you're growing with somebody, it's gonna be so many bad times, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Cause y'all growing up, y'all fighting y'all childhood stuff, y'all trying to become your own person.
And then it was like we jumped in, like
And
we
yeah, for
went
your in
head
your
first. We was
situation,
babies and just
they
like
left, moved in together, and boom.
yeah,
Like boom, 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 boom.
yeah.
So they still never had
We
time to
had never
find
been on our
themselves really. Do you
own.
feel like you had time to find yourself or you just
As
learned it
far
from the
as
way?
finding myself, I honestly think nobody truly ever finds themselves because you're always changing, you're always
That's true.
evolving. But
But
I
you
feel
never.
like I became my own woman, yes. But it took a while because again, we were kids when we moved in together. I had never lived on my own. I
So
think you have to you definitely have to, I would suggest that you live on your own before going to
before
live
jumping
with,
into something
yeah, because I literally went from living in the house with my mama to being with my
with your
boyfriend
boyfriend.
and then who became my husband. But it was like I had never lived on my own.
So
I've
yeah,
never
they
lived.
literally learned everything together. Like they,
Yeah.
that's the
And that was a lot
key.
of where our issues in our marriage was coming from, is because we both were
I was trying
babies
to figure
trying
it
to figure
out.
it out. Yeah,
Getting
literally.
frustrated with each other. He's still young as hell. Like
Literally. And I also think like if you're in a relationship, even if you're married, have another couple that you see their relationship, have another couple that you could go and talk to. Not nobody
girl, it
single,
ain't plenty.
not nobody in
It
a
ain't enough.
regular boyfriend girlfriend relationship. Like find you a good married couple
A lot of people
that's
not
been.
happy though. Like they, or it's just
Well, I ain't talking
BS.
about them.
It's hard to find, like another couple.
It's people around. I mean, even though you're gonna always have issues in a relationship, so you can't sit up here and say, "Oh, they fight too much," but they probably love harder, and that's why they still together.
Mm-hmm.
But if
Because
it's
if y'all
something
keep going
where,
back to each other,
yeah,
it's something
it's
there.
something.
Yeah, y'all
Now
just
I ain't
ain't
with the
figured it
whole
out
like
yet.
the cheating and all that. I ain't with that.
Yeah.
But you gonna argue. Like you gonna argue. You just got to. It's what happens after that argument. So
Right.
for
How
me,
y'all
it's like
build.
I would suggest anybody to just have another couple, or even just, it ain't got to be necessarily a couple, but maybe just somebody who you trust their judgment. But me, I don't suggest getting a relationship advice from nobody single, because it's like if you got that one friend that's like, oh, I wouldn't put up with that, I wouldn't put up with that, and then you done left your relationship and you single and you sitting over here sad because you want your man back, and it's like, but you only left him because you listened to your single
Mm,
friend.
mm, mm.
So even if
Ooh,
you
we got to
got
get into that. We got to
even
get into that.
even if you got a relationship from someone that isn't married, but that just got a head on their shoulders that could think logically, because you got to think you might have a friend that's just like always gonna take your side.
Somebody neutral. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Somebody neutral.
yeah. That's gonna not just take your
Your
side because
side.
you're their friend. I
Mm-hmm.
love that my friends, even when they were single, if I told them something that was going on, because at the time there was no married people around me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I would call certain friends that I knew that had a logical thinking cap on their head, that's gonna think about the entire picture instead of saying, "Oh no, I wouldn't deal with that." It was like, okay, I would call them and let them know what was going on, how they felt, and they was like, "Okay, nah, you was wrong in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
This is what
They
could
can tell
have
you when you're
happened."
wrong.
Yeah.
You need that.
So you got to have somebody around you like that that's not afraid to say, "Nah, sis,
You
that
wrong.
wasn't it. You was
You
wrong."
got to have friends or people around you that tell you when you wrong.
Yeah.
I tell my sisters when they wrong. You dead wrong. You dead wrong.
Now, according to this Healthline, same website, healthline.com, it says, can a relationship be saved? It says willing to invest acceptance of accountability, shift from blaming to understand,
Yes, stop blaming each other. You got to. You got to.
and openness to outside help, which is what we were just saying.
Yeah.
It says,
There
can
you
you
go.
move forward?
Even maybe a couples counseling or something
Oh,
can bring
we
it out.
always say do counseling. If you could do counseling and everybody's
Go for it.
okay with it, definitely do that. It says, how can we move forward? Don't dwell on your past. View your partner with compassion. Start therapy. Find support. Practice healthy communication. Be accountable. Heal individually.
Yes, that's big. You have to heal. Like we said, you got to love yourself and be good within yourself in order for you to love someone else. And yeah, that's
And
big.
hold space for others' change.
Yes.
So I like that because, again, we are always changing. Like, I feel like even when I hit 30, I felt like it was like a difference in me, in my thought process. And it was a lot of stuff that I just wasn't going to deal with. And it was
You
like,
maturing.
you gonna deal with it or you ain't gonna deal with it. I ain't certain stuff I'm just not gonna put
The
up with.
stuff you deal with in your 20s is not the stuff you're going to deal with in your 50s. I hope not.
Exactly.
You should grow and mature throughout, life. That's why I say, me being this young, I'm still growing. So I got a lot of growing to do. I used to fault myself like, damn, I know I got to get this together, get that. But I'm still growing and learning, and I know what I need to work on and what I need to focus on so I can attack that.
Now, I also want to say, like, when it says you have to be open to change, we also have to understand that everybody ain't for us.
Yeah.
So it may not be, if it's so toxic that you can't come back and collectively work on that relationship, it's not going to work. And you don't need those people around you. Everybody is not for you, and you have to understand that. It's okay when you single. Don't keep dating that same person. Go find you somebody else. It's plenty fish in the sea. That's what my grandma used to say. It's plenty fish in the sea. Don't keep coming back and dating that same person and dating that same person. Because how would you know how another relationship would be if you keep going back to this same person? Because the same thing is going to happen.
Right.
You've already done that. Move on. Now, if you move on to something else and you don't have that same feeling with this next person, then you know, okay, I like this feeling. I like how I feel when I'm with this person.
I feel like you know who your person is. Like
you
like
might
you
know
said,
because sometimes that person may be your person, but to be a friend, not to be in a relationship.
That's true too.
That person might just be.
Or you may go out and date other people and then be like you said, like nah,
that ain't it. Yeah, and that's why I say when you're single or whatever, like if you in a toxic relationship and y'all break up and you back out there, like have plenty of friends. Don't be tied up with that one person. Like,
just date.
Enjoy yourself until you get back into a serious relationship, because you have to know that that person is right for you. Because that person that you're with have to be willing to deal with you. You have to be willing to deal with them, good days and bad days.
Each other.
And you also have to be able to grow with each other. Because one thing about it, especially when I'm saying this from being in a relationship so long, that we done been through several different stages. Some the same and some at separate times. And it's like when Scoop went through like a midlife crisis or whatever, like it was like OMG. But I had to be there for him. You have to be with someone.
Be there for each other.
Yeah, and if you have somebody that's just like gonna constantly keep throwing at you or throwing stones and throwing stuff from the past, you don't need that in your life, because they really just trying to basically down you when you already in a sunken place.
And you got to try to get out of that. You need somebody who's positive, who's on your side. If you say you want this relationship to work, or you know that this is your person, you claim that's your person, stick beside them.
And that's why even with friends, if you tell your friends you're doing something new or you got something going on and you see that they're not supporting of it or they're not they're not behind you, why you here?
And friends can be toxic too while we on the topic.
Yeah.
Friends can be haters.
Definitely.
The
What?
man, let me tell you.
Dolph said it best.
Man, let me tell you. You could be so close with somebody and then y'all have one, big argument and everything will come
A
out.
small argument.
Or that. Everything will come out and you be like, damn.
That's how you really feel.
That's how you really feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you've been thinking. You've been
been
around
wanting
me.
to say that.
Yeah.
Like you got that off your
Speak
chest
with your
now.
chest. Speak with your chest. So, and this is another thing. This it ties into the topic. Like my auntie, is a situation that happened, and my auntie was like, "Well, you got to forgive that person." For me, I can forgive you,
But I
but I
won't
don't fuck with
forget.
you. Yeah,
Mm.
and like even my mom be like, "Life is too short," but bruh, didn't
It
they know
depends
life
on
was short before you crossed
It
it?
depends on the situation because you could forgive and like you said, you won't forget because I forgive you and I love you, but I love me more to protect my peace.
Exactly.
So that person don't have to be around you every day in order for
Right.
you to forgive them. But I do believe that even if that person wasn't around you every day, there shouldn't be any animosity left in the air.
Right.
Just in case life is short. You don't want somebody to leave this earth and y'all last conversation was y'all cursing each other out.
Yeah.
Like I do believe in at least making amends at
Even
to
if you
that.
don't talk afterwards,
Right.
like
Just be like,
y'all ended it fresh.
right. Because I have a friend that we fell out over something very, very petty that ended up being something big. And I'm like, at the end of the day, while we were friends, it was straight.
It was
You know,
all
it was
love.
nothing. We got into it or whatever, but it still wasn't nothing that was like very,
There's
very
levels to
serious.
it.
Yeah, but at the same time, the way it was played out, it was like, okay,
You
do
felt
I want this
played.
person around me? You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they were on my mind, and I gave them a call. We stayed on the phone for like 2-3 hours.
She probably, or that person probably was waiting on you to call or waiting to talk
Yeah.
to you. Like, yeah, yeah.
And we talked and we stayed on the phone for 2 or 3 hours. But I ain't spoke to her since. But our last conversation
Was a
was
good one.
that conversation instead of when we had the argument
Right.
a few years back.
So you
But
feel good about it.
yeah, I feel like, and I did this I'm gonna say this, 2 years ago, it was my cutoff season. Like I was just like, I'm cutting any and everybody off
You
that
was
done
just
did me
snipping.
wrong. I was just like, if this person, if that person, I'm done. Boom, bop, bow, blah, bop.
Hey, yo.
And when I had my daughter, I was like,
And
I
seeing new
can't.
things brings new changes to your life. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So when I was pregnant, I thought I was gonna die when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And I
It
was
opened
like, you
your
know what?
eyes.
I don't want to die and have no issues with nobody. So I was like, because for me, it's deeper. I want my soul to go in the right place.
And rest peacefully.
And I want my soul to be at peace. And I feel like, how can I tell somebody to love on someone, or tell my son to treat people a certain way, and here I am. You know what I'm saying? And or I'm holding on to something that is really something that is a grain of salt that become this huge mountain in my way. You know what I'm saying? Because when you holding on to stuff, you can't move. So
that's true. When you holding on to something, you can't move forward because that's always going to be
it's something that's always going to be on your mind, which ties back to the toxicity. Because this situation has happened, even though you're not talking to this person, it's not phasing you. If you had a serious relationship with this person, friendship, family, whatever, it's bothering you. You could say it ain't bothering you, but it is. So when I was pregnant and I was thinking about all that, and this person just kept crossing my mind. And I was like, I'm big on my discernment, and you making jokes talking about Ravenbacks and all that, but for real, like that, be serious with me. So this person kept being on my mind, and I'm just like, was always on my mind. I kept being on my mind. It was always on my mind, and I was like, I called up another mutual friend that we have, and I'm like, hey, is everything going all right with such and such? And they was like, yeah, why you asking? I said, well, they just been on my mind. I said, I think I'm going to give them a call. And she was like, well, she been asking me about you too.
And I think everything
So,
is a sign.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
God
most
be sending the
definitely.
signs. And maybe he just wanted you to get that off your mind and off your heart.
Most definitely. I believe when anybody is on your mind, even if they're not, if it's not issues going on, I feel like God put them on your mind for a
For a
reason.
reason.
Or even if you don't believe in God, the universe put that person on your mind for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason, I
Yeah.
believe.
So when I called her, we stayed on the phone forever because she knew a lot of the situation that was going on with, why I wasn't having kids and all of this. She was there for me when I had to have surgery both times. Like, she done came to my house and cleaned up my house and helped me with my baby when I finally had him, when I had Lil Mike, because I had issues with him too. And like, she's always been there. So when I had my daughter 13 years later, I was like, she was the one person that was there for me when I had my first baby. So I was like, let me give her a call. Just even if it wasn't on no, we best friends about to go run in the sunflowers and hold hands together. I'm just like,
The situation.
I'm gonna call her. Let me see what she on. You know what I'm saying? And when I called, it was like we had a conversation like nothing had ever happened.
That's how you know when it was true. It was real.
Yeah.
Like, y'all may have
even when we got into it, we wished each other well. Like, go live your life. I'm gonna live my life. Bye, bitch.
That's how it be.
Yeah. And so we didn't end it then, but it still was animosity. It was issues there. So anyway, when I talked to her, we chopped it up for a good few hours. And it was like all kind of stuff that, even though I think we hadn't talked for it, it might have been a year. I don't think it was a whole 2 years. It might have been a year. But when I talked to her, it was like we chopped it up like nothing ever happened. And so much had happened with her and so much had happened with me. And it was like we really, really, real deal let some toxic-ish get in between of a real friendship that we really, really had when it was something that was so small. Like, I have never gotten into like a argument that was so serious that I felt like I couldn't go back to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I be feeling like that for a minute, and then I be like, you know what? It really wasn't what I said it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's another thing I have to work on myself. My toxic is I hold a grudge, baby. I will hold a grudge to the end of the time.
See,
and I don't know if that's the Leo in me. Because, baby, when I tell you I'm a real Leo, I'm a real Leo. I'm not cocky, but I'm confident. That's the only thing that, they be talking about Leos and all that. I'm not cocky. But I feel like me holding a grudge, because I feel like, you know what? You got one chance to cross me. And that's
how I
something
feel.
that's something I have to work on with myself, because everything ain't intentional.
Right.
Everything isn't like, I didn't die. This person didn't put my life in danger. This person didn't
It's
put
levels to it.
my kids in danger. But again,
like that stuff you couldn't really forgive.
Right.
Like, you could forgive them because they say you should forgive. But it's like,
I forgive you, but stay over
Right,
there.
right.
And that's okay to be that way. Because like I said, everybody ain't for you. Everybody should not be allowed in your space. I don't care who it is.
It's a season for everybody.
Right. It's, for me, it's a privilege for you to be sitting right here in my face. Period. So it's like, if you feel as though you want to do something to jeopardize that, you don't value me as a person. And I don't need that around me. Now, I love you, but I love you from over there. Now, that's okay too. And that's another thing where this toxic thing becomes an issue, because we are toxic because we don't want to let go of something.
Ooh, that's
and you want to constantly say, well, I've been with him for so long, or they did this and they did that. Yeah, but you constantly being hurt too. Let's not forget about that part.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got to realize that. You got to recognize that, whether it's with yourself or with that other person. You have to realize that, okay, when I'm around I'm happy when I'm with you, when I'm around you. And then when I get over here with this person, I got this chip
I
on my
feel
shoulders.
angry.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, what's going on? What's really going on?
Something is triggering you. I feel
Yeah.
like something's triggering you to
But
be
it's
that
it's
way
for a
or
reason, and
to.
that's why I say you have to be so in tune with yourself that you realize that, okay, is this toxic where we could work on this, or is this toxic where this person don't need to be around me and I don't need to be
Hmm.
around them? Because
Right.
if I'm ready to fight when I'm around you,
Right.
I don't need to be around you. Because if I fight you, baby, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna damn near kill you. I'm finna fight you.
Hospitalized.
I'm finna fight you for everything I done went through in 1983.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Okay.
But that's how I am. I'm real strong. Feel very strong about things. I don't like when people hurt my feelings. I don't like when people try to play me. I don't like when people knowingly knowingly trying to do something to me intentionally, then I really feel like nah, because I can't let you do me like that
Exactly.
at all. So I feel very, very strong on my feelings, and that's why it would be so easy for me to cut people off. Because why did you do that? I always say to myself, you knew what you did before. Like I don't know. I
And
just
you know what?
feel
When you've been around somebody and somebody really know you, they know what trigger you.
exactly. Exactly. And that's friendships, family, anything. So, I mean, this year, 2022, is about me. Like you said last episode, is, yeah, it's about me. I don't want to be, toxic. I want to be positive. I have a daughter looking up to me now. I
Yes.
can't be out here, I ain't gonna say what I did, Lord. I
Oh
can't be out
Lord.
here acting a fool though. Cause my baby watching me. My baby watching me. Oh. Oh. So that's another thing with toxic people. If y'all have kids, do not be fighting in front of them kids. Do not bring your children into your drama. Fix that. If you have a child with somebody, y'all have to at least build a relationship to where y'all can at least be cordial. Cause you got to deal with them for the rest of your life.
At least for 18 years.
More than that. If they go to college, y'all both gonna be at the graduation.
Yeah,
Y'all
that's
both
true.
gonna be at birthday parties. Y'all
Then the
parents.
grandkids come around. Y'all
It's
both
a
gonna be in the
yeah.
grandkids' life.
It's a commitment. So
That's why you
this
gotta
is
be
off
careful.
topic, but watch who you have kids with.
Period.
Watch who you have kids with. I'm gonna say that one more time. Watch who you have kids with. Like, stop
Or just know who
having
you dealing with. Period.
yeah.
Because sometimes it just happens. But
It could be good.
yeah, But if you really know and truly
Know
know
your
this
person.
person,
Yeah, know your person. That's the advice that I would give.
and if you know you don't want to have a baby by them, be like, we putting on two condoms, baby.
Yeah, because you know what you're doing if you ain't wrapped the cap. You know what you're doing. The
Wrap the
auntie
cat.
said, my auntie, she talked mine up. But anyway, you know what you're doing if you unwrap the cap. You know what can
Mm-hmm.
come out of it. And
Mm-hmm.
so don't have unprotected sex if you don't see yourself having children with just anybody. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you when you have a child, you're going to go through hell and back.
Mm-hmm.
So please, please, please don't just be out here having raw sex if you ain't ready for what comes with it. Cool. But
She just said it just like that.
back to
Just like
being toxic. We gotta
that.
mature as a
Sorry, mama,
whole.
is my mama listening?
Mama, I'm sorry.
Mama, I'm sorry.
I won't do it no more.
P.O.P. Hold
Hold
it
it
down.
down. Oh, but for real, to wrap it up,
Dang, we gonna wrap it up already? Hold on, I had one more thing.
my bad,
So
my bad.
there's a difference between abuse and
Oh,
toxicity.
that's a good one. Yeah.
So abuse is something completely different. Don't let nobody physically abuse you. Now there
Just
are
beating on you for
outlets.
no reason.
Yeah, there are outlets for domestic abuse, and that's something very, very serious because that's something completely different. We're not telling you to sit here and be going through physical abuse and or even verbal abuse. So just in case you didn't know, abuse can be non-physical as well. So if they want to diminish your self-worth, chronic stress and anxiety, separation from friends and family, they want to separate you, or anybody that supports you. Interference with school or work, fear of intimidation, name calling and put downs, financial restricting, gaslighting, which makes you question your own feelings, instincts, and sanity. Threats of self harm and physical violence. Now, if you want to read a little bit more on this, I got this. We are leading this with healthline.com, and you can put in toxic relationships, but that's a whole nother avenue
If
when you're
you
talking about abuse, because sometimes it's
very
hard.
serious, take it serious.
Take it serious, but it's also very hard for some of women and men to leave an abusive relationship. We saw when
People be
this
controlling. They sometimes won't let you leave, and
mm-hmm.
you really got to go through it. You know, a lot of women just go through it because they have to, or they have kids involved, and it
Or you
just
got
be
soul
harder.
ties.
Yeah.
Soul ties, and sometimes you gotta let that go. But I know that sometimes it's hard for some women to just let that go, or even men. We saw the guy that
Oh,
was
who
getting
just
beat.
got his baby mama was hitting on him and stuff. I
Yeah,
don't know if he was doing
his
it for social
name,
media, but
I can't think of his name, but
Dre
something.
Dre Hughes, I believe.
But yeah, his girlfriend was beating the dog mess out of him, his baby mama, and they had a lot of toxic situations going on. And he said he was trying to stay there for the kids. Baby, don't stay there for them kids, because them kids don't need to be around that. And then
That
you
makes it
raising
worse when
kids
the kids are there and you
fighting
getting
like
beat
that,
or
or even the
anything.
verbal abuse,
Yeah,
because your child now thinks that's okay,
you're right.
or that's traumatizing them, which is creating another toxic human being, because they have traumatic situations with watching y'all fight or hearing y'all fight, or your kid hate one and love the other. Like, you just don't want to. That's, like I
That's not
said,
the way to go at all.
that's a deeper conversation. Like I said, to go into, because it's a whole. It gets deep when you're talking about physical abuse, or even verbal abuse, because verbal abuse in my eyes is worse than physical, because it sticks with you and stay in your mind forever. You can heal from those physical wounds, but you'll never heal from that verbal abuse. And it's like, again, that's a whole nother situation than what we talking about as far as just the regular toxic relationship. That is
Right.
part of it.
You got to know toxic and abusive.
But
For
the
real.
first thing is recognizing it, because the first time that you recognize abuse, or this person can be abusive, I say run. Don't even wait to see. Or, a lot of us women, we think we could change a man, or we think we could change a woman. And it's like, no, sis. No, 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 no. You can't change a person. They have to want to change, first of all. But when you start getting to that physical and verbal abuse, baby, run.
And since
Run
we
like
touching
Forrest.
on the abuse topic, I want to give out the National Domestic Violence Hotline number. Um, if you are being abused and you just want to talk, or you're scared, or you're coming across this video, reach out, get help, and talk to somebody. The number for the National Domestic Violence Line is 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-7233. And you can call them, you can chat, or you can text. Just visit the National Domestic Violence Hotline.
And we can post the number as well in the
Yes,
description.
we will do that. But realize what's toxic and what is, abusive. And like she said, run.
Run, baby.
But
The first time, like this, that's another quote from Oprah Winfrey. She say, I don't know the exact quote, but it's like, when someone shows you their true colors the first time, listen,
believe them or
believe
something
them.
like that. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So wrap it up, y'all. We
But
gonna end.
before you end,
What
are we
happened,
staying in these
sis?
toxic relationships or
In
not?
2022, we is not chasing toxic. Run.
Run.
Be positive this year. Find yourself. Be happy. Just be happy.
Be happy for yourself. No one
Yeah,
person should
for
make you
your
happy. You
children,
have to
for
be happy for
anybody.
yourself.
Yes.
Find your happy place.
Yes, yes. If it don't work, don't force it. If you
Ooh.
can work it out,
Ooh.
try to. But if it don't work, don't force it.
Ooh.
And the quote we gonna take y'all out today with is, don't let negative and toxic people rent space in your head.
Ooh.
Raise the rent and kick them the out.
Ooh. Say that
They
again.
ain't stated the part, but I did.
Say that again. Read it
Robert,
again.
it's a quote by Robert too, and he said, don't let negative and toxic people rent space in your head. Raise the rent and kick them out.
Okay.
Okay?
Again, baby, that's for relationships, friendships,
Family.
family, and work. Because the
Woo!
workplace can be toxic too.
Toxic, for real.
Baby, it's so many places hiring. Don't stay in no toxic job.
So
That
that's
manager
what
can be
we going
toxic too.
that's what we're going to end with today. I hope you guys enjoyed this hot tea today. And we're going to see y'all next time.
Buenas noches.